Okay, so that seemed relatively successful, so I guess we're going to go ahead and keep doing this. So this is part 2 of play testing some of the script for Pachio-kun on the Famicom, the original Famicom. So she says, "Maido arigatou gozaimasu." So this, like I said, or was implying when we first entered the Pachinko parlor, is a line that is reused in the script. So I believe I had translated this as "thank you for your business." And you know, I guess I'll think about it. Perhaps I'll do something else. But then she says, "Mo okaeri desu ka?" So I chose to translate this as, "Are you leaving so soon?" And again, this may be like complicating the line a little bit too much, or just like taking it a little too literally with the mo. Mo okaeri desu ka? It might just really be more, are you leaving? Are you heading home? You know, so if she says, "Thank you for your business, are you leaving so soon?" You know, it's fine. I mean, partially the goal of the game is to clear 5 of the pachinko machines and, you know, have made money for the day. I think we're going to start off just putting in maybe like a couple bucks worth of balls into the machine, maybe, you know, $2 or $10 or $5, something like that. It's not very much. And then our goal is to make, you know, maybe it's like $10 and then we make like $100 or so. So we end up, you know, about a $90 up, something like that. So, so anyway, this sounds fine for now. So she says, "Jikan no yurusu kagiri asonde kudasai." So, I wrote this as, "Please play as long as time allows." So again, like, it's sort of like, you know, please, you know, feel free to stay until closing, something along those lines. But again, like, I'm not going to get super specific about the wording. I'll just come back to this at a later point, and I reword things if I think it needs to be. And again, like I said, like, let me know, you know, if you guys have suggestions for what you think would sound good. So this is very clear. It's just him going heh heh heh. I did it as like heh heh heh, which is, I guess that's a super literal translation of that. I have edited that. I'll go ahead and edit. So I guess that's all he does. He just kind of like chuckles at you. Let's see again what these are. This is machine 50. Another. I think this is probably a whole row of 7 machines. So here's this lady. Looks like wearing a. It's like she's wearing a helmet. Anata Engyo Katsugu Ho. So I've translated this as, "Are you superstitious?" So I can choose yes or no. I've been going with no a lot here, and it would be good to answer, you know, like both ways to these questions if I'm actually checking this script. I could be making save states, I guess. You know, I mean, why am I not doing that? Let's yeah, I'll just save it. Okay, so we'll say no. So she says, "Toshiue no hito no iu koto ni wa mimi o ka sumono yo." So I translated this as, "You should listen to what those older than you say." So that's interesting. I didn't realize that was a follow-up to "Are you superstitious?" You know, and again, these lines don't necessarily like come consecutively in the script. I call it the script, but this is like in the ROM, like the way they're stored. So I didn't necessarily relate those two. So in this case, I mean, Toshiue no hito, that really is like, you know, older folks. So I don't know, maybe she's implying that, like, I don't know, older people are superstitious. Are you superstitious? Okay, well, so let's try the other line. So we're gonna say, "Are you superstitious?" Yes. So she says, lucky 7 day, 7 bandai nanka derunja nai. So I have translated this as the lucky 7 number 7 machine seems to pay out. So she's talking about the 7 machines, or in this case, she's calling them lucky 7. So I don't know, I wonder if I should say that it's the lucky number 7 machine, or the lucky 7 number 7 machine. Lucky 7 day. Yeah, so it's like the 7th lucky 7 machine seems to pay out. So again, maybe just a little bit of wording adjustment on that might be appropriate. The lucky 7 number 7 machine seems to pay out. That's also, that's accurate, it's literal, and I think it's not so bad. So let's talk to this guy. Hikoki daide ason dakai. So I went ahead and saved a state here. So he says, is basically, have you played the plane machines? And again, I mentioned this, and this is tough too, because this is like not something that people are just going to intuitively understand. So I don't think I can explain what a hikoki machine is just by calling it something. So I could call it a hikoki machine and just sort of let people assume that's the name of it. I might actually say, have you played the airplane machines, as opposed to just plane. Have you played the plane machines? I mean, it's written the way that you would write airplane, but maybe I'll put that in. Have you played the airplane machines? Again, it's weird because it's like they might not have an airplane on it. It's just sort of like what the machine is called. But anyway, that's good enough. So I haven't. So he says, kono mise no, the number 32 machine, zenzen denayo. Oh, interesting. So the way I translated this is, this parlor's machine number, in this case 32, is cold. So I think I was doing some research or something, or people were kind of talking about like things being hot or cold, like a machine that's hot maybe pays out, and a machine that doesn't is cold. So that's interesting. So, and I don't know that I used that in other lines in this script. So, because I think somebody else was saying that one of the machines pays out, and I think I said that it pays out. But I could have said that it's hot. So maybe I should go back and normalize that. And again, I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Does that get that across? Maybe I'll look up the line. Okay, so I found another line here where I do say that it's hot. This parlor's machine number, X is hot. It's actually, I guess it's right with the other line where I say this parlor's machine number X is cold. So I do use that kind of, dichotomy there. Let's see. Okay, so in this other instance, it was, have you found the machines that pay out here? That was, I think, that other gentleman that spoke with a dialect. So have you found the machines that are hot here? Yeah, I get it. So I at least do have one other line that sort of directly corresponds to the hot and cold. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if him asking, have you found the machines that are hot versus the machines that pay out. I think it seems fine the way it was. But. Oh yeah, so actually, I had a save state there. Hikoki. Okay, so have you played the Hikoki machines? Okay, so this is another one of those, hey, about these machines. So, and I think that works. About this parlor's airplane machines, in this case. So he says, Chaka no ue no kugi ga ue o muite hiraiteiru dai o erabu yoni. So this is going to be, make sure to choose one where the nails above the scoring slots are face up and open. It uses this term chucker, and I had it in there as chucker, or like well, I guess it's cha, it's cha, chaka. And I didn't know what a chucker was. I thought, you know, it makes you think of like maybe the thing that shoots the balls up or something like that. But then it's like, you know, make sure to choose one where the nails above the chuckers are face up and open. So it's like, okay, well, whatever. But it's apparently like the like how you score on the board. So it's like just the little holes, you know, that are going to be maybe surrounded by like a something that where the balls go in, where you're trying to put the balls in. So in that book that I read, they just called them slots or scoring slots. You know, different from like a slot, you know, machine. Although actually that, well, because slot machines, they talk about reels. I don't know exactly what the slot is in a slot machine. Is it the reels? I don't really know. You know, so it almost sounds a little weird, but not weird, but it just could be confusing. But I think it's pretty straightforward, and that book used it, so I think there's a precedent. I kind of wanted to follow the book's nomenclature, and I think that, you know, it just makes more sense than chucker, because we don't know what that is. I think you can figure out what a scoring slot is. That's, you know, where the balls go, and that's how you score. So yeah, there's a little bit of pachinko advice for you. So he says, Kyobi no pachinko ya wa ona go han ga gyo-san otte yorushi na. It's like when my brain is trying to switch back and forth between you know, Japanese and English or whatever it is I'm thinking about. Sometimes it gets a little confused. So yeah, so this was a line actually I remember I talked about on Twitter just a little bit, because again, this is you know, these are dialects that these people will be speaking, and you know, in Japanese sometimes that it's a little opaque, especially for somebody who is, you know, learning Japanese as a second language and you know, isn't really seeped in it. So I translated this as, it sure is nice how many ladies there are at pachinko parlors these days. And I think that that's a great translation. It's just a single, you know, one line from this guy. It's totally clear. I don't think I need to change anything about it. I was just going to mention onagohan is what was really confusing me, because like gohan is like lunch or food or rice. I mean, it's rice specifically, but it's like hiru gohan is it's not midday rice, it's lunch is what that means. So, and I was like, ona gohan, and I didn't necessarily think that it was talking about gohan, but I'm just like, what is this? And so, you know, again, it's dialectical. So it's ona is like woman or female, and like ona no ko would be like girl. And I kind of forget, I don't really remember if onago or onako is like that might be a term for woman. There's a million terms for woman in Japanese. It's crazy. It's like josei and joshi, and there's tons of them. So, but this han, it's just dialectically a way to say san, which is just, you know, so-and-so san. It's how you say like Mr. Miss or whatever. And in this case, it's not being directed towards somebody in particular, but it's like, he's just adding san to that word, but it comes out han. So that was, it really threw me off at first. I'm just like, what in the world is this? But then, you know, again, if you're familiar with the language, it kind of makes sense. It's just sort of a permutation of san, and he's just talking about ladies. He likes seeing the ladies at the pachinko parlors. There's more of them around these days. So this guy says, Kyomo Jan bari dashimashou. So it's a little hard to tell with this guy. I feel like he is staff as opposed to just a patron of this parlor, but I can't really tell. I mean, I don't think he plays the machines. So, I mean, maybe I'll observe this guy a little bit more. But, you know, so he basically says, let's rake it in like mad again today. But I don't know, if he's actually staff and doesn't, you know, isn't a patron, then like I think that still makes sense. But I get it's more of like a kind of a sales pitchy thing, like, hey, you know, let's you know, make money like mad. But I mean, it's, I don't know, like if it seems more like something that a patron would say, I guess is what I'm thinking, than somebody that works there. So I may want to think about that line a little bit more in context. If it, you know, like I'm thinking this guy is a, you know, is somebody who's working there, if that's really what they would say. But anyway, let's see what she has to say. Watashi shinken nandakara hanashi ka kenai desu yo deyo. So I translated this as, I'm serious about this, so don't distract me, which I think is fine. You know, I could, you know, serious about this, I could maybe find some other way to like say, you know, I don't know, she's concentrating hard, or but I think she's saying like she's serious about her playing. Like I'm, you know, she's not just playing around. Like I'm serious about this, so don't distract me. I think that's a good line actually. So I think that's good the way it is. So this guy says, "Boku wa ronin chu no asa no desu. Boku no ikigai wa pachinko nan desu." So this first line, and I've translated as, "I'm Asa, currently unemployed." And then the second line is that pachinko is my purpose in life. And again, that sounds fine. This guy is, you know, doesn't have a job, and so he's kind of devoting himself to pachinko right now, and, you know, maybe making ends meet by scraping out a living, winning off these pachinko machines. Although, you know, pachinko is my purpose in life. Maybe it sounds like he's a little more passionate about it. This is what he's passionate about. So yeah, I think that's fine. And we're probably getting pretty tapped out on folks here. I guess it's the last three here. Let's see what they all have to say. Kyomo o makedai. So I think he's saying that same line that the other guy was saying before. It's like, I've incurred a major loss again today. So I think I will come up with like a, you know, it's a general line, but I think I'll come up with something that just sounds a little less stilted for that, especially since multiple characters say it. Watashi shinken nan desu kara, yeah, hanashi kake. So she's actually repeating that other line. I'm serious about this, so don't, whatever it was, don't bother me, you know, don't distract me. And this guy says, "Boku wa ronin chu no asano desu." Now hang on. So he says that he is asano desu. So here's a couple things. So one is, if that was this guy's name, then I mean, one, he says asano and not just asa, but maybe he's saying asa no desu. Asa no desu. I wonder if did I mistranslate this in some way? Yeah, I don't know. Let me just run up here. I want to see if, I mean, because these sprites are mobile, but I don't think this dude ran all the way down here. Boku wa ronin chu no asano desu. So I don't know if this is like two characters that basically have the same name. I am thinking maybe their name is not Asa and it is Asano. That makes a little more sense to me, reading it currently, unless I was really onto something, you know, different when I was better and different when I was translating it. But it is a little weird if like two people happen to be Ronins and happen to be named Asano. So maybe I'll research that a little bit more. But yeah. So So we've talked to everyone. Let's play some of these machines. I assume that you guys want to check that out, but we might save that for the next episode. This is, I think been as long as this needs to be. I'm glad to have been able to check all of these lines, and yeah, I hope you join me again to actually see how to play Pachinko in Mezase Pachi Pro Pachio-kun, whatever his name is. Thanks for watching.